going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an awesome weekend so far. Bitcoin having a boring day as usual. We are in the weekend. Bitcoin tends to not really do much on the weekend. Sometimes you can have some crazy sporadic moves, but I am waiting for this major breakout either at the end of this weekend or beginning of next week. So I do know that currently right now Bitcoin is a little bit boring. We did actually try to have a little bit of a move this morning. We got up to about $9,220. You can see we had this wick, instantly pulled back down. We couldn't break out. So right now, Bitcoin is currently not that exciting, but we have altcoins absolutely skyrocketing. Some of them, like I said, 10xing, 20xing even. So I want to talk about a few altcoins today as well. In fact, yesterday's altcoin video that we made on Moon token, Moon is actually up 373%, but Moon is a little bit of a sort of silly altcoin, right? It's kind of an experimental altcoin. Today, I actually want to talk about two specific altcoins that actually are really having some breakthroughs in the DeFi space. Specifically, one of them is something that I think crypto has actually been needing for quite some time. So we're going to get into that. One altcoin is actually up over 700%. So should you get into it right now, we're going to talk about that. We also have an interesting Bitcoin statistic at the end of the video, but that is the key focus of today. If that sounds good to you, you know what to do. If you're not subscribed, definitely consider it. We're going to be making videos every single day. Bull market, bear market, altcoin season, Bitcoin season, you know the place to be. And without further ado, let's dive into the chart. Now today, we don't have really much to go over. We have declining volume, Bitcoin consolidating. We're getting to the end of this wedge. Not too much analysis really to go over. We are looking for a potential move. In yesterday's video, I showed you we could even be looking for a 20% breakout either to the upside or to the downside, with a potential target if we do break out to the upside of $18,000 Bitcoin by this time October. So have a look at that video yesterday if you didn't check that out. If you are looking, obviously you can head over to, Bybit and leverage trade the small percentages, but let's be honest, guys, lots of eyes are on the altcoins. We have altcoins absolutely skyrocketing. Now, one altcoin in particular I wanted to mention was actually TrustSwap. Now, TrustSwap has been on an absolute tear. It's actually, if you see right here, it's up about 713% in the past week. So some people might say, well, I'm not going to touch that. It's been on a bit of a run. You can actually see right here, it does have a market cap of about $16 million. So should you invest? Should you jump the gun and just buy the altcoin today? Well, let's talk about what it is first, because I really actually like what these guys are doing. So not going to go into super detail. A lot of, you've been hearing a lot of influencers and different people talk about TrustSwap. I actually wanted to mention it on my channel 2 days ago. I didn't make a video that day, and it pumped another 150%. So my apologies, guys. But seriously, having a look at what TrustSwap is actually doing, basically, they're making the ability to have secure payments using smart contracts essentially on the blockchain. And what's cool is, like, if one person wants to swap with another person, it'll basically verify that both of the assets are in either of the wallets. And then once both parties have basically met the agreed terms, then the swap happens. But that's not the only thing that they do. You can also split payments, have automatically timed batches. A cool feature that you can do is actually automatic payment subscriptions, right? Like, so, you obviously have like a monthly subscription for Netflix and other things that you pay for. So basically you could do that as well. They do have some use cases in here. Instant will execution, right? So that's something that some people might need. Like I said, monthly, weekly subscriptions, instant gifts and payments as well, two-party swaps, which I basically explained in the beginning. So, basically you both fund the contract when you've, both met the either side of the deal. Then that'll execute as well. They have time released payments. So just check this out. Also, they talk about using it for ICOs as well. They say, what if you could invest into a new project with 100% certainty that the other investors were in it for the long haul? So, and this actually ties into something we're going to go into a little bit later, but essentially, For example, you can enter this contract and then both the investor and this coin would fund the contract with the total amount and then press agree. So the coin would then, new coin they use, for example, would receive $10,000 and the investor would automatically receive the tokens. And yeah, I mean, this is a really, really cool concept. And I really think that this is something that we need in the crypto space. Like, for example, just Bitcoin and Ethereum on their own. I mean, you could send them, they're non-reversible, right? But being able to actually use these smart contracts and have two trusted parties swapping, getting rid of the middleman. I mean, just think about all the things you can do with these smart contracts. Unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people would be out of a job because it would eliminate the middleman, but it would definitely create that decentralized trust. So have a look. I'm not trying to like shill trust swap. Check it out, guys. It's pumped a lot. Could it have a little bit of a cool off? Yeah, possibly. I mean, it could have a little bit of a cool off session, but you can see that it has had some nice growth over the past week. So like I said, if it does have that correction, it could be a good opportunity to scoop up. Not financial advice, but I personally think even though this has a market cap of 16 million, I do see this going a lot higher, maybe not immediately, but I do see that this does have value. So definitely check it out, do your own research. So that is the first coin I wanted to mention. The second project I want to talk about is a project that isn't even out yet. It's actually currently about to be out. I think they're coming out on Uniswap next week, so keep your eyes on that. And this is Plutus Defy, who is the sponsor of today's video. Now, these guys had an insanely low raise for their token. It was only $1 million, and they have a really freaking awesome bonding curve, which I'm going to get into in just a bit. But essentially, what are these guys? Well, Plutus DeFi is basically a full stack aggregator. Now, you're probably saying, well, there's a lot of these different types of lending protocols out there. What makes these guys different? Well, number one, they're privacy focused, okay, which I'll get into in just a bit. And number two, they actually have some really awesome utility for the token. So there is some major emphasis on that. You can see right here, obviously they do have different protocols you can use, like compound, synthetics, all different types of currencies we'll get into, as well as Web3 wallets. So just to kind of go over what they do offer, they have some of the money markets being compound, I'm not actually familiar with this one. Is it DYDX or DYDX? Not too sure about that one. BZX, Aave, Curve.fi. Obviously, you can use pretty much any of the altcoins that are ERC20s, DAI, USDC. They have insurance with Nexus Mutual and Open, and privacy, which is a huge, huge feature of what these guys are doing. We'll get into in a bit, but they have Aztac, Tornado.cash, Camoflag.eth, OpenVPN Tor, and like I said, a ton of different wallets. You could use Fortmatic. You can use your Ledger if you want, okay? Obviously, I recommend Ledgers or MetaMasks, but having a look over here, so let's talk first about this full stack aggregator. Obviously, this is broken down into 4 levels. You do have your base layer. Now, they actually talk about Ethereum or even Binance Chain or even Libra, potentially when that comes out as well. Then you have your protocol layer. This is what you guys are probably most familiar with if you're in the DeFi space. Smart contracts offering different functionality, obviously, whatever you guys are interested in using. They talk about Maker, Request, 0x, Synthetics, Compound, right, etc. The list goes on. Aggregator layers, one interface, set the contracts and source the liquidity, and finally you do have the product layer itself. So what can you do with the Plutus ecosystem? Well, you can lend and earn, which is the very most bottom basic of all things, payroll and payments as well, DeFi as a service, and derivatives. Now, derivatives, I believe, are going to be big. We've seen what derivatives have already done. Some people say derivatives are destroying the crypto ecosystem. Well, guys, look, love it or hate it, derivatives are here to stay. So you're just going to basically have to deal with that, essentially. So we've already seen the absolute explosion of derivatives on the centralized exchanges, and now I think you're going to see them next on the decentralized exchanges in the DeFi ecosystem. So I want to talk about their privacy, what actually separates them apart. Essentially, they're going to integrate privacy mixtures. I mentioned a few of them as well, but this is on their own Basically, Plutus Defy ETH. Now they're calling it Blender with an E or with a 3 where the E is, which is an optional tool for users on the platform. So basically, by creating their own mixer, it says that users will face reduced transaction costs compared to using standalone mixers with lending platforms. And with their own native mixer, users will not face risks of seizures by centralized lending platforms and exchanges. Now, here comes the part of the token. Users will need to hold a minimum of the Plutus token or the PLT token in their wallets to access this feature. Now, another cool thing is they're also looking to come to mobile. Basically, as you guys know, obviously existing mobile wallets, well, they're not exactly that safe. You use them, you basically surrender all your data to these third-party companies, these multinationals without your permission. Basically, the Plutus DeFi privacy wallet is going to be an Android-based APK native wallet. Users will need a minimum of PLT tokens to access the features, giving the token more utility. There is more to that as well, including staking, which we'll get to in a bit. But you can see right here, some of these features include managing multiple wallets, instant buy and sell, APR interest display, multi-factor authentication, randomized pin entry, one-tap Ethereum mixing with Tornado Cash, mobile money credit integration, and support for VM mobile insurances as well. So let's talk about what exactly goes on with the token. Well, number one, they do have a burn feature. We've obviously seen this as a really interesting component lately to sort of have a percentage of the DeFi tokens collected from the network being burned. Hopefully, this will increase the value of the token, but it also rewards Plutus holders as the adoption grows. Obviously, network fees, I don't think I have to go into that. We do have bonding and governments. Fees will be collected as a percentage of the smart contract payments being executed. Tokens are also burned as fees as the protocol is utilized. And finally, staking. So staking, we've seen lots of staking excitement lately in the crypto space. Obviously, I feel like Tezos kind of was like leading the way with the staking. Still waiting for Ethereum to move over to proof of stake, but you can see obviously a percentage of the fees collected will be paid out to the token holders who have tokens staked in their non-custodial staking contract. And here you go. No node is required to run. Now, let's talk about this awesome bridge fee that they have. So basically, everyone that got involved in the seed round of this, which is a very low raise, only $1 million, they are actually going to be penalized if they sell their tokens early. And you can see right here, if these tokens try to basically, if these, investors try to like crash the price, because some people see that, right? As soon as the token hits exchanges, they all just sell, the price crashes. Well, on month one, you're going to be hit with a 55% pretty much penalty for selling. So if you have 100, let's just say 100 tokens and you sell, you're going to lose 55 tokens on that transfer. The next month, 44%, and you can see it decreases. In fact, if you want to have a better look at the bridge mechanism, you can see right here, you have that 20% decrease per month up to the 9-month time frame. And so basically to say worst case scenario, 27.5% of the total supply, assuming everyone has liquidated all of their tokens. Best case scenario, 8.33%. Now you might be saying, where have we seen this before? Well, we've actually seen it over on LTO Network, and you can see this is just a snapshot of their first couple months, basically from January through March, and it actually did help for a nice consistent growth of the token. Now, obviously, past performance of another coin doesn't guarantee that it's going to happen again on Plutus DeFi, but it's just something to sort of consider. Now, talking about some of the people invested, you have Roger Lim over from NGC Ventures, Neo Global Capital. Okay, you also have the managing director at Bitcoin.com exchange, as well as Eric Benz, the founder of Changely, and obviously a lot of different venture capitals as well. And talking about the team, you do have Arnie Hall, partner of Obsidian Capital. He's invested in over 31 blockchain companies. You have the COO. Basically, he has experience at Citibank, Oracle, Nissan, Publix, Gold Money, Louis Dreyfus, NHS. You have the CTO from over at Goldman Sachs. This is a pretty incredible team, and I like to see the fact that also the guys working on the tech have experience as well. The engineering smart contract lead has over 4 years experience in blockchain development, specifically in Ethereum and Hyperledger. Yeah, I mean, core expert in Ethereum. You also have React, Angular, React Native, Node. And one other thing I wanted to point out too is the advisory. So you have product advisor Dinel Patel. He's senior product manager of Cardano, 12 plus years in enterprise and SME and telecom. And they just recently had two other big major academics join. You have Paulo Tasco. He's a professor in computer science lecturing at UCL, the executive director of a world-leading research hub, the UCL Center for Blockchain Technologies at University College London, as well as George Salmon, who's an advisor to global finance institutions, startups, and law firms, who has valuable experience working with New York-based cryptocurrency hedge fund. You guys familiar with Brian Kelly? If you're not, I don't know. We've mentioned him on the channel multiple times. Prior to this, he was a former Wall Street senior portfolio manager. So yeah, lots of big things for these guys. So let me know what you guys think about Plutus DeFi. They are looking to have their launch next week, early next week. So most likely they're going to be over on Uniswap. That's pretty much where all the big guys go. So yeah, you know, obviously shout out to the guys from Plutus DeFi for supporting the channel. And yeah, let me know if you guys are going to snag some up, if it's not for you, if you guys are going to stick with some other things. And also, obviously, let me know what you other products and projects that you're looking at as, basically we sit here and wait for this guy to consolidate. So one thing I also wanted to end on, this was an interesting statistic. It says the hourly data from Google Trends shows that US-based searches for Bitcoin have consistently peaked at around 1 a.m. Eastern time for the past week. I thought this was kind of an interesting concept. They do say that the largest percentage is coming from California, which technically it would be 10 p.m. for them local time. So what's up with all the people in California Googling Bitcoin? So basically that is that. So definitely check out Plutus DeFi if you guys haven't. Let me know what you guys think about Trust Swap. Do you think that, this pump is over? Personally, for me, I think both of these coins today tokens have a lot of utility. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you want more of these coverages of altcoins, let me know. I mean, honestly, guys, there's really not much Bitcoin analysis to go over today, so you kind of have to talk about the altcoins. Once Bitcoin decides to, break out of this boring sideways consolidation, well, then we could talk more about trading Bitcoin again. But until then, looks like it's going to mostly just be altcoin talk. So let me know what you guys are doing. Are you sitting in fiat? Are you trading altcoins? Are you hodling Bitcoin? What are you doing? What are you doing right now? Lots of opportunities in the crypto space right now. There's dApps, different dApp platforms that people are getting involved in. So thanks again for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I do this every single day. My name is K-Dub. This is CryptoZombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.